Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 46 of the B Graders. The sun is shining. We're in Perth, paradise city of Australia. Really?
It's a lot nicer than Manila.
Is it? You were in Manila last week.
I was in Manila.
So no,
Manila Gorilla.
You're not going to get on the tourism board of Manila?
Oh, look, it's a really interesting city, mate. Wouldn't want to live there.
Wouldn't want to live there. Wouldn't want to live anywhere else but Perth.
That's it.
Now, Euro boy, we had the lovely Rebecca Mackey on last week.
She smacked you in the head, mate.
She gave me a couple, and she
hasn't stopped talking about it since.
And she's crap at talking too, because she had to do about 5 takes. I don't know why.
Oh, 5 takes of smacking you in the head. No, I have no idea why.
She got the smack in the head right the first time, but she was very good. Thanks, Beck, for coming out last week. She
made sure she fluffed a line so she could go whack 5 times.
I'll let you get away with that one.
I'll never do it again.
Never again in your lifetime will you do that.
Mate, I don't know.
Euro boy's back, so we're going to talk about European bike racing, and we had Omloop Het Nieuwsblad to start off.
I like to call it Het Volk because that's what I remember it as. When the great Franco Ballerini won it, Johan Museau won it, Tommy Bonen never won it.
Fons de Wolf beat Jan Ras in a 2-up sprint. Het Volk won.
Anyhow,
there you go.
Some guy called Valgren won it.
Yes.
He broke away. He had two other teammates in the break. He won it easy. In a hard day on a headwind.
Do you know what I love about it?
He won't win. He won't win Tour of Flanders now.
All you numbers boys.
He won't win Tour of Flanders because no one who's ever won Het Volk / Nieuwsblad has ever won Tour of Flanders.
Where's the crap kit? But all you numbers boys are all standing around here, and they're all talking about, oh, he rode at this wattage and that wattage. I thought, I'm going to have a look at that wattage. He won because he jumped away. He had 3 teammates in the break. All right, Astana had the men in the break. He jumped off the front. Yes, he held good wattage. They chased and they propped. Why'd they prop? Because they had an Astana rider in the wheel covering their teammates. So get off your bandwagon about all this power crap.
Well, power play
good tactics by a team and a bike ride.
Power play.
Clever bike racing.
Power plays a part, mate. But if you've got teammates,
and he's in the front group. Of course, he's got good power. But don't talk about
you've got
numbers.
3 teammates in the break. You've got a good chance, haven't you? I mean, there was no one else had a teammate in the break.
Who won the girls' race?
It was Ellen Van Dyke, wasn't it? No.
Christina Segard won it.
That's right. And Chloe Hoskin was 4th.
I'm going to say, we mentioned Chloe Hoskin. She ran 4th. She won Cadell's race when Cadell's race was on. Now, they don't talk about this enough in the press. Chloe Hoskin ran 4th. Well done, Chloe Hoskin.
And she ran 2nd in Omloop Het Hageland the next day, behind Ellen Van Dyke.
Now, if I'm just going to put it out there, if Caleb Ewan had run 4th, and then ran 2nd the next day,
there'd be headlines in Ride magazine.
It was just madness. Chloe Hoskin ran 4th, then she ran 2nd. Kuurne-Brussel-Kuurne was won by Dylan Groenewegen. He won the stage of the Champs-Élysées last year.
He rides for Lotto NL Jumbo, or Jumbo, or whatever you want to call it.
He sucked Arnaud Demar's helmet.
He's had a pretty good start of the
sprint
season.
Finish. He killed him.
Groenewegen, he's had a few wins already.
4th win of the season so far, and he was going 2 to Demar's 1 in that sprint finish.
He was, and then overnight we had La Samien. Nicky Terpstra won from Phil Gilbert.
The Wolf Pack.
Yep.
Taking care of business. 1-2 for Quickstep.
I want to ask you a question, Matt. Did you see the Abu Dhabi tour?
I got interested when Rowie won the time trial, Rowan Dennis, or as we now know him in Perth, Mr. Melissa Hoskin. Yeah. So I got interested when Rowie won the stage.
He did ride it well. He looked very good. Teammate was leading for a long time, the Aussie young lad. Scotson. The look on his face as he was crossing the finish line, it looked like he was leaking out of every orifice. He was going that hard.
It was good to see the boys against the watch, but I tell you what, it was a West Coast Masters Cycling Club tour, wasn't it?
Yep.
The Master Blaster won his 2nd.
He's 38 years old.
No, he's 41, isn't he?
No, he's 38. 38,
might as well be 41.
He had a broken knee 6 months ago.
And it's his 2nd tour win of the year, Alejandro Valverde.
Jeez, what is he ever going to do if he trains properly?
When's he going to retire? I'll tell you what, Rowan Dennis said he was uncomfortable. Rowan was feeling uncomfortable as they were going up the climb, and Valverde looked around and didn't even have the mouth open, wasn't even breathing, and Rowan was like, "Oh,
we're in trouble here.
I'm in trouble here."
I just remember him riding across to, I think it was Alaphilippe. Alaphilippe had attacked. He'd got 20, 30 seconds.
Somebody was there.
And
some poor Astana kid got his helmet sucked off.
And he's just gone, I'm here, how you going? Can you tow me a bit further, then I'll attack you?
I'll tell you what, poor old Tommy Dumont.
Jeez.
He's unlucky, wasn't he?
Wouldn't want to be his mechanic.
2 days in a row.
Wouldn't want to be his mechanic.
Actually, a mate of his mechanic, old mate, has gone over there to be one of the mechanics.
It's one of the poorer bike throws I've seen in a long time, but it is the first bike throw of the year.
Stopped. His road bike stopped, and he was something about hell.
Oh no, he said something like fire truck.
Fire truck.
Fire truck.
Fire haven. But yeah, Tom, never mind, mate. We had the junior. Oh, before we get onto that, Strada Bianchi this week. Who's going to win?
I'm going to say that it will be Phil Gilbert.
No, it won't be Phil Gilbert.
Or it might be WA's own Luke Durbridge. I'm just going for outsiders.
I tell you,
he's the P apparently.
I want Durbo to win it. I would love to see Durbo
Cancellara's not going to win it this year because he ain't there.
Peter Sagan's actually going to win it, but I'd love Durbo to win it. Really.
Sagan's been resting. He might be.
Sagan's been resting. You met the Pope.
Did meet the Pope.
He did a book launch.
Yeah. Been riding his mountain bike.
He went to Sierra Nevada.
Been riding.
Training at the altitude to get the climbing legs on, and he reckons he's been hanging around somewhere closer to home so that
he can see his young one,
see the little boy hanging out. There you go. The Rockstar is back this week in Strada Bianchi. Junior Track Nationals happened last week. We want to mention Junior Track Nationals because last year I don't think we did mention Junior Track Nationals.
There's been a few. I think we got a few medals. I think a Dahlia
won gold.
We got a bronze in the team.
Another Wiggins won medals. Yeah. The boys in the under 17 TP got the bronze medal. Now, one of them told me, Josh Commons reckons they broke the state record.
They did. It was a long-standing state record they broke, and some good names in that had held that.
Well, that's right. The names in the team that had the state record were people like Rendell, Welsford, Tucknott and Jackson, I think, held the state record. Now, that's a hell of a team if you think of those names and you remember those kids. So Josh Commons did all the turns and none of the boys gave him a turn.
It's not quite true. I was speaking to outgoing waste coach
Clay,
yeah, he was talking to him yesterday. He says they started one guy off because he did a 2-lap starting turn and swung up, and that was him done. And then they did 2-lap, 2-lap, half-lap, 2-lap, 2-lap, half-lap.
Very good. Josh wasn't the only one. The Joe Lindorf was in there. James Derrick was in there.
But, we got asked to talk about the Junior Nationals, but there was no emails from anyone telling us any results, so we got
asked to mention it, and we've seen some photos as we've just thrown them up there.
So, but if you want us to mention anything, we'll mention anything. You just got to send us some results because, jeepers creepers, it takes a lot of work to find some of these results.
Yeah, especially.
And we don't get paid for this.
Websites.
We don't get paid for this.
Adam gets paid, though.
Adam gets paid.
$1,000 a week.
$1,000 a week, and our friendship.
Just to do this.
Mate, ATA was on the weekend.
What's ATA?
Australian Time Trials Association. And there was a 40k time trial out.
Who won?
It was out at Serpentine. Stu Helm.
Yes.
46k an hour average. And there was a wicked northeasterly out there with absolutely nowhere to hide, and that's a phenomenal time.
That's a very good ride. 46k an hour in anyone's language. But I tell you what, somebody we haven't mentioned for a while because we got bored of talking about him, Chris Glasby. 44.38 k's an hour or something for a 57-year-old man.
Yeah, a postman like part-time. It's the placebo effect of that new beautiful time trial bike.
Got a new bike. It's very big around the bottom bracket area because you can fit anything in that bottom bracket area.
He looked very fast as he went past me.
Fit anything in that bottom bracket area.
He did very well.
Well done. And a chapeau
third overall, by the way, too. It was a great effort.
Chapeau to Colin Rose, who was 4th overall. There's always a bit of a ding-dong battle between those two. Colin Rose, very humble. He beat me this week.
Better man won. He rode really well, and I did the best I could. So well done, Chris Glasby.
West Coast Masters were
before you go on,
sorry.
Scotty was there.
Was he?
Didn't cut his back wheel with a box cutter this week.
Didn't let his tyre down. He's on a good ride this week, Scotty.
Got out. He said he's on a good. He said I better not let the tyre down. Better finish.
No. West Coast Masters were at the holy grail of the West Coast Masters circuits, Kewdale, and Brett Stapleton got the chocolates in A grade. Brian Singh and Eddie, the B grader Hollands, was 3rd, which was good to see Eddie having a bit of a crack in.
He wanted to ride B grade so he could ride with Chris Brown.
Yeah, no.
Not the rapper Chris Brown.
No.
Chris Brown, WA Cycling Royalty.
Yep.
But they wouldn't let him.
No, he turned up once B grade had started as well, so he looked after himself there. But I tell you what, I don't think I'll ever get fit enough to be able to ride A grade again, but all my mates are in B grade now, except for Eddie Hollands. All my mates are in B grade. So B grade's huge at the moment, like the biggest bunch going around. It was good fun in B grade for all the B graders out there. We have got a giveaway still. I'll just quickly mention it, throw it in there because you most of you turn off before the end. We're giving away Mariana Voss's signed skin suit as long as we get to 500 YouTube subscribers. Now we picked up 26 new subscribers after last week's announcement of that.
That means we got 30. So we've got a few way to go.
We picked up 26, which means we've actually now got 22 because most people are unsubscribed. But the thing is, we also picked up about the same amount on Facebook. So if you're on our Facebook page, please, when you have a look at the YouTube video, just click subscribe to YouTube. once we get to 500, we're going to give somebody that love.
And it will be an above board. An above board winning. It's not going to be one of our mates. Well, it could be one of our mates, but it will be drawn out of the hat.
If it's one of our mates, we'll actually draw it again.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, lots of Facebook stuff, lots of social media. There's been talk about in WA cycling, $250 to register a team. Is it too much? That's what we want to know. I reckon it's too little. $250 a rider as far as I'm concerned. Racing, too much money to enter for no prize money. Just to a point on that, I'm old school. I believe in prize money. However, same 4 or 5 people win it every week. So when you start doing the whinge about prize money in races, and I'm for prize money, just be aware that there's probably 80% of the bunch, 85% of the bunch have never won a prize dollar in their life and don't give a stuff whether they've got prize money or not.
And the numbers,
they just want a good event.
The numbers showing up reflect that.
Exactly right.
At the end of the day, it'd be nice to get prize money, but if you can't afford them, would you rather have no race with potential prize money or a race to go in where there is no prize money?
I reckon, personally, if there's no prize money and you don't want to race, go around the river. Go and do the secret races. Go and do pappers. But that basically is what happens. They've dumped prize money, I reckon, about 6 or 7 times since I've been in the sport, and I've been in the sport since about 5 years old. And all that happens is slowly people stop racing, and then you know how it brings them back to racing? They put on a few prizes, so it's yin and yang and this and that. Hey, we mentioned speed humps on the show last week. Oh, got some messages straight away from people in charge of those decisions. We'll be talking to those people in coming shows. Speed humps are still stupid. And we're going to have a few special guests in the weeks to come. Stevie Hall's going to be on the show again very shortly. He's got a big announcement to make. Yeah,
I believe we get Clay Worthington as well.
I'm having a beer with Clay this Saturday, actually, and we're going to have a bit of a chat with Clay, and might even have a chat with him at the pub this week. Might have pull the old camera out and do a bit of a video there. So, Matt1@iinet.net.au.
Tell us what you think. Tell us what you don't think. Tell us if you think. That'd be good.
Tell you one thing I did get told, because I made mention of the amount of A-grade women who raced Wellard a couple of weeks ago, and I was told, as matter-of-factly, the biggest bunch of women at the Wellard Crit was the A-grade women. So first and foremost, with my hand on my heart, that's my heart, sorry to all the A-grade women that I offended for saying you didn't turn up at Wellard, because you did, because the A-grade women's bunch was the biggest women's bunch at Wellard.
Well, we'll always admit when we're wrong. Just doesn't happen often.
It doesn't happen that often. Hey, we want more women racing, so question here is not to the A-grade women, because you're superstars, and the B grade and C grade and D grade women, you're all superstars as well. As a group,
what do you need to race?
What do you need to race each week? We want to see, we know there's probably about, I don't know, probably about 80 women out there who do race from time to time. What do we have to do to get 40 to 50 of you racing every single week? That's what we want to know from our women racing cyclists.
Let us know what
Please let us know.
Let us know what gets you down there.
We want to know what excites you about the racing and what we need to do to get you racing every single week.
That's it.
That's about it from me.
So we'll see you maybe next week, maybe the week after. I can't remember. Can't remember if we're on next week.
We might be on next week. We've got a lot to talk about at the moment. Lots of people want to talk to us.
Yes, to you, not me.
No, you. No, they specifically said when Toggers is back in town, we'll come on the show.
I thought that
before we go, Merv Byfield, it was his birthday on Sunday, and
the great
our
Magnus,
top grip, our best boy, Magnus Rudisell, turns 50 today, or midnight, or slightly over tomorrow, because he's born in a leap year, so he's really only 10. Happy birthday, Mags. Midweek Mayhem on the night. See you there.
Well, it'll be over by the time.
Thanks for turning up tonight then. See ya. Bye.
Bye.